Hello and welcome back to another episode of Content Converse. I have a very special guest here. We are going to be talking to LewdDoodler. Is that how you pronounce it? LewdDoodler?
Yeah, yeah.
LewdDoodler. Well, LewdDoodler, how are you doing today?
Oh, just swamped with commissions as usual, just trying to juggle my personal life with art stuff and just yeah, satisfying everybody. All that sort of
All,
stuff.
all the fun stuff, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, for the audience members who may not know who you are, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself?
Well, my official name is LewdDoodler for obvious reasons. I am a hentai artist. At least that's what I'm most known for. I draw porn, smut. I've written a few comics, but it's all kind of related to smut and drawing smut and mostly big asses,
Yeah.
big women. I specialize in that.
Yeah.
Back from his ghostly adventures.
I hung out
Alright.
with Danny Phantom and Casper. It was cool.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. Huh. I've yet to do art of Danny's what's that goth girl? Is that goth girl his sister or like his girlfriend or
Girlfriend, or friend slash girlfriend, I think, right?
Oh, okay, cool. So, alright. Well, I can't do any incest there, so then alright, well, alright, cool. I'll have to put that on my
New idea.
to-do list. Yeah.
First question, what got you into drawing, like, in the first place?
Well, for that, we're gonna have to go back about 20 odd years. When I was in kindergarten, first drawing I remember was of a chameleon that looked more like a green rat. That was but I always loved drawing, especially, oddly enough, I started off as like I just drew kind of weird animals, and I would come up with like my own biologies for them, like, oh, we got this weird looking fish. And like I watched a lot of nature documentaries as a kid, so
Mhm.
I kind of took what I got from that and made my own species with biologies of their own. After that, I started reading a lot of Captain Underpants, so I was inspired by that to write my own little comic books from 6th to like 8th grade. It was kind of just a little I had a superhero. His name was Captain Alias, and he was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek sort of parody of himself, kind of goofy superhero. Had fought everything from mad scientists to robot gorillas to mutated killer corn monsters, and things like that. And for a while I stopped doing art, and I got back into it later on in high school, and I was just always drawing something.
So yeah, it just like started from a very young age, and that spark just never stopped.
Yeah, no, I always knew I always wanted to be a cartoonist. Yeah, I grew up reading like Gary Larson's Far Side and Bill Watterson's Calvin and Hobbes, and that actually had a big influence on even my art style. So yeah, I was just always around art, and I always was doing art.
Yeah, I mean, if you're always surrounded by it, just it's like natural to just be like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, no.
So what led into eventually going down the like not safe for work slash smart route with that art?
Ooh, man, that's quite the story. It's almost become like a weird. It's almost become like legendized the way that I tell it. Um,
Like
well,
Lord
I
of the
mean, I
Rings.
kind of grew almost. It kind of like a tale far, far into the past. The tale of how the doodler became lewd.
How he earned his title.
Fuck. Excuse me. Yeah. No. So yeah, to start this epic tale, I kind of grew up in like a let's just call it a pretty strict religious household that didn't take too kindly to sexual expression or exploration.
Hmm.
So, I just kind of had to keep it all bottled up, and like I when I was, around 6th grade as well, I was kind of drawing some boobs and some butts very crudely, but I didn't have access to anything else, so that's all I could really get other than staring at the Victoria's Secret as we're passing by. But in any case, when I really started was when I was 16. Yeah, I was 16. I just turned 16 at the time. And we were visiting my grandmother, visiting her home. She had passed recently at the time. And we were just going over to, clean out her place, take care of some stuff. And what ended up happening was, since she had passed, well, she wasn't paying, nobody was paying for the internet bill, which meant that I didn't have any hentai to jerk off to. So I pulled a Thanos and said, fine, I'm doing it myself, and I drew my own jerk off material. And
the power in your hand.
Yeah, I felt fucking powerful. Like Goku got fucking nothing on me. Like I'll just draw me fucking Chi-Chi and it's over. Like he's just dead.
Gone.
Regardless. Yeah. That's what I did, and I'm like, wow, I can draw porn. That sure is something. And then I started kind of posting some on a different account about when I was 17. And yeah. Then like about a year later, right as I got out of high school, I was like, man, I could like make something of this because apparently people like it. So yeah, that's what I did.
Just started from a simple boy with a need, and it became a career.
Simple boy with a dream and an erection.
That's how most dreams start. Any other people or inspirations that encouraged you or still encourage you to keep doing what you're doing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So when I first started off, there was an artist / author. He's more of an author now, named Punished Calm, who does like fantasy light novels, and like mostly fantasy art. And he was doing a web comic when I'd met him, but now he's switched mostly to just books. He worked with me for a while. He was looking for a colorist, and I was eager for the job because commissions were light back then. Oh boy, do I sometimes miss those days. But yeah, no, he took me under his wing. He taught me a bunch of important things about coloring and shading and contrasting and reflective shadows and all that important stuff. And then I got some tips from other artists like Rakeem Spoon and Lemonade Pikachu, and we kind of did some collab projects together, and they kind of signal boosted me on Twitter as well. And that's kind of where I got a lot of my audience from, so I share a lot of fans with other artists because they would signal boost me because they liked my stuff. It was really cool when Rakeem Spoon I did a Natsuki animation and he really liked that, and I was like, wow, this artist with hundreds of thousands of followers likes my art back when I had less than 10,000. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no. And that, like, just having like those bigger people just like taking a chance and then just giving you that opportunity, just like, and now look at you now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Were you expecting to gain this much of a following?
Well, I think a lot of people look at like internet followings, other people with large internet followings, and they'll be like, I could never do that. Then they start getting it and they're like, I could possibly do that. But then it happens and you're like, wait, where did this all come from again? Why do I have all this? Even though you put in all the work. And like my following kind of grows kind of steadily. I mean, if you look at my other accounts, my current account, like you're might be wondering what's up with that, but it's because I've had multiple accounts that have either gotten hacked or taken down, and yeah, that was fun, which we'll get into later. But like, yeah, no, it's like, man, where did all these people come from? And it's a, like, I kind of always expected that given enough time I would reach a certain follower base, but I'm mostly shocked at the fact that I actually bothered to put the effort in to get that to get where I am today, that I actually stuck with it, because I'm pretty notorious for giving up on things. But yeah, that's pretty much how I see it.
Yeah, so just constant work, and eventually you get to where you want to be.
Pretty much.
So speaking of your art, Doki Doki Literature Club is probably what you're best known for in terms of like what you draw and whatnot. How did it get that way?
I just kind of like DDLC. I discovered it when I was a teenager. When it first came out, I was the ripe age demographic for when it came out, and I was just super into it. I was like, whoa, this is like Undertale, but if it was a dating sim. um and back when that was like being meta was super super neat, and I was just into it, and I thought like all the jokes from the community were funny, and I wanted to do art of the characters because the thing is about their designs is that they're so simple and meant to kind of be generic, so it helped me out with starting off with simple characters with simple designs, and I got a lot of attention from that, so I just kept drawing DDLC stuff.
Do you like that fact that you're a lot known for DLC? Like, do you like that you're? I guess maybe some people would be like, oh, it's the DDLC, guy. Do you like that, or do you wish you could like branch out more without it sometimes tanking?
I do. Well, I mean, I guess I always have DDLC to fall back on if my well, okay, so a lot of artists that I know would say like, man, I wish my original stuff would get more. Man, I wish I could branch off into more original content. Um, like instead of having to rely on fan art to be popular. And I understand that, and yeah, I also feel that way, but I also understand that fandoms are a really good fallback on for if your original projects don't work out. So I've actually branched off into original content before. I wrote Dojin. My OC, coming up with original characters and actually sticking to them is kind of one of my weaknesses. I just end up going back to fan-made content, or I get too busy with commissions to really dive deep into my original content. But yeah, I mostly just wish I had. I love doing fan art. I love drawing things of content of things that I enjoy, but I also just wish I had more time to dedicate to my original content.
Yeah, because like you've been saying, you've been like so overloaded with commissions, you haven't had like time to,
Yeah, it's a lot of original characters of other people, and or just franchises that I'm admittedly not particularly interested in. But yeah, it's more time would be nice.
Add like another day to the week where it's just specifically you.
Yeah, no, I actually did try to do that a while ago. Like, okay, Sunday is going to be my me day where I draw things that matter to me. But that never really panned out. But, maybe I'll try it again someday.
Mm-hmm. What is like your favorite and least favorite part of like the whole art process?
Doing the line art is my least favorite process. I really like sketching, and coloring is pretty zen, especially if I have a podcast or a TV show on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Shading can get interesting because it's kind of really seeing. You kind of get to see real time the art piece develop depth. But yeah, line art's always going to be my least favorite because it's just tedious tracing of your sketch. That's actually why I usually like to just clean up a sketch and color that in, as opposed to cleaning up, like redoing the line work. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it gives like a distinctive like look to it. Like you can immediately tell like, oh, like Luther
Oh
drew
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I like to keep my art style loose.
How did you get your username, by the way? Like, did it start off as Doodler and then you added Lewdler to it, or did it ever change? Like, how'd that happen?
So, well, I used to have a Safe for Work account that I did art for, and then later along the lines, I kind of realized that if I wanted to do like strictly NSFW content, I had to, advertise myself as like in the name. You had to like immediately look at me and know that, I do not safe for work stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always kind of seen my art as like the opposite of fine art. Like I've always been a cartoonist at heart. So I use terms like doodles or scribbles or sketches to define my art style. So I just kind of took doodler because I am a doodler, a chronic doodler. And, lewd rhymes with doodle. It kind of has a nice ring to it. So LewdDoodler, I'm one who doodles lewds. I'm a doodler who is very lewd. It's mostly marketing things, and it also rolls off the tongue really nice.
It's also fun to say, like just Lewdler Doodler.
Yeah, nah. That's why I shorten it to Lewdler. Recently, of course, I had to change it to LewdDoodler for reasons of losing various accounts. But, LewdDoodler, Lewdler, the Doodler. I have many names.
As long as there's Doodler and Lewd, it's there.
Yeah, as long as you like have to like roll your tongue.
Then it works.
As long as it's a tongue twister, it works.
Aside from art, are there other things you enjoy to do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I particularly enjoy playing like old video games. Especially, I love me some Castlevania. Other than that, I'm fond of cooking. Kind of have to because I live on my own for now. I like, grilling and barbecuing especially. I collect vinyls as well. I like me some 70s hard rock. I got a Black Sabbath, Leonard Skinner, a little bit of Johnny Cash. I've been getting into country music as well. Old country music, not the new stuff. Oh yeah, I'm also really into like, I'm still really into like biology and paleontology. So, yeah, and yes, I do have in fact two favorite dinosaurs: Carnotaurus and a Margosaurus.
Carnotaurus, what?
A Margosaurus.
Margosaurus. Okay. What advice would you give to those who would like to start drawing, or those who draw but want to make it into something more?
Just honestly, just keep drawing. Just keep, some people, I know a lot of people who are better artists than me, but don't want to make a career out of it. And, they just keep drawing just because it's how they express themselves and what they enjoy doing. It's either an expressive thing or like a therapy thing. Just keep drawing, dog. Like, keep expressing yourself through art, and it might get you somewhere. Like, if you're trying to make a profession out of it, try to set goals for yourself. Try to see how fast you can sketch out a character, or time yourself, especially. Speed is going to be a big key into breaking into art as a career. Keep practicing. Don't be afraid to learn new techniques. Tracing for practice can help as well. Just don't, post it, because that's kind of a big no-no in the artist community. But yeah, tracing, drawing from references. I've even drawn a few references IRL, if you know what I mean. But yeah, no, like IRL references online, references from other artists, studying their techniques. Just keep drawing. That's really that's really the best piece of advice I can give.
The Nike commercial, as much as it's memed, it's got a point. You just gotta do it.
Yeah, just do it. Just keep it up.
What has been your favorite slash least favorite moment, like in general? Doesn't even need to be like, anything specific. Like least and favorite moment since you've started art.
Well, favorite moment would I've already kind of mentioned them, but to go in more detail, favorite moment would be when Rakeem Spoon shouted me out, reposted, retweeted my animation, and I got a bunch of exposure from that.
Mm-hmm.
That was really neat. Least favorite moment would probably have to be when a bunch of my accounts got hacked, and yeah, that was fun. I had to kind of start over, even though I'd already started over with my Twitter. Lost my Discord too, but I did everything you're supposed to do, and I didn't lose a whole lot. And I'm recovering, and it's fine now. But that was a pretty rough time.
It's like how many accounts got hacked? Was it like every single account?
No, I had two-factor on pretty much everything else that mattered. So.
Oh, okay. So it was just the
I
Twitter.
only permanently lost my Twitter and Discord.
Mm.
I lived. I'm still alive.
The hacker didn't find
No,
them.
I didn't really lose anything super important, and it's not like my fans disappeared out of thin air. They're still out there, and most of those accounts are probably dead accounts anyway. So it's fine.
They'll come back.
Yeah, no. They're out there.
Yeah. What is your favorite piece you've done? What's your favorite art piece?
Right. Yeah. So that would have to be the one where Monica and Yuri are squished. This is from like over a year ago, where Monica and Yuri are squishing their asses together. She's like, "Ooh, yeah. Which one of us you want to fuck first?" And Yuri's all like, "You know which one I'm talking about?"
I think so. I don't think I could put it up, but I can maybe put the faces up.
Just put the faces up.
Yeah, they'll get the rest.
Yeah, nah. And then there's like parts 2 and 3 of that as well. Actually, I drew part 3 a few months ago, and I'd like to do a part 4 eventually when I have time. But yeah, that's probably going to be my favorite piece, not only because I think it's hot as fuck, but because it kind of marked a big change in my art style and a big like spurt of growth. Because at the time I'd kind of been in a rut, and I felt like I wasn't really growing as much as an artist. But at that point, I made that jump, and I did all that, and yeah.
And now we're here.
And yeah, and here we are as the name of Foo Fighters' latest album that I also have on vinyl says, and here we are.
And here we are. The last question, are you working on anything right now? I know you're working on a bunch of commissions, but aside from commissions, if you're working, are you working on anything? And if so, can the audience who decided to tune in today get a little sneak peek?
Well, sneak peek, like a very, very small, specifically cropped piece. Yeah, I'm working with Maxstar on. I done a piece with one of my OCs, Sandy, about a month or two back, and I decided to get Maxstar VA to voice her in that because she'd done a good job in one of my other pieces with Sandy in it, and that's Sandy with an I, and she's named that because her hair is dirty blonde, and it's it's Sandy.
Yeah.
She's not a squirrel in a spacesuit. God. But yeah, no, I got her to voice that, and I just have to kind of edit it together, and I'm planning on actually doing another part for that, so I'm probably gonna have to pay her more to voice that, but it's fine. It's all tax write-off.
I think that's it. I mean, is there anything else that you would like to say to the people out there?
Well, if you're a minor, fuck off. I don't know what you're doing here.
Yeah, don't watch this.
Don't, please. I'm being serious. Like, please don't.
Yeah.
I have a big thing against folks And other artists who basically try to sell softcore porn to minors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of that. I think it should be. I know, like me as a teenager, of course, I found ways to watch porn, but you shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
Just wait those years.
Just wait till you're older, dog. Like, come on.
There's better things.
You'll have the rest of your life to ruin your sex life. Just
don't get the early start.
Yeah, don't. Your friends might bug you to do it, but just don't. You'll get weird fetishes, and your sex life is gonna be ruined. But regardless,
though.
That's about. Yeah, nah. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
But I think that's pretty much everything. Again, thank you so much for taking some time out to go ahead and do this.
Oh yeah, no, it was my pleasure. Thank you for approaching me for the interview.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, I mean, I don't know who is going to be next on here, but hopefully it'll be just another cool experience like today's.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you once again, Doodler, for coming out. I will see you all later. Take care.
Bye-bye.